In this video, we present our paper Not All Frame Features Are Equal. Video to 4D Generation via Decoupling Dynamic Static Features. Generating dynamic 3D from video is an essential research topic involving the field of computer vision and computer graphics. Existing methods directly optimize Gaussians using whole information in frames, but fail to explicitly differentiate between the dynamic and static regions within a frame. If static regions account for a significant portion, previous methods overlook dynamic information. Thus they tend to overfit static regions, resulting in a diminished capacity to perceive texture variations in dynamic regions. As shown in the figure A, previous produces results with blurry texture, for example, wrinkles in clothes, particularly when confronted with B-type input video. The B-type video means there is a large proportion of static regions within the video. We consider that decoupling dynamic static features to enhance dynamic representations can alleviate this issue. In particular, we propose Dynamic Static Feature Decoupling Module, DSFD, to obtain decoupled features. We assume some regions of current frame features exhibit significant differences relative to reference frame features. Such regions always contain important knowledge of texture, shape variations, and motion trends under current timestamps. Therefore, it can be regarded as the dynamic feature of the current frame. In contrast, the remaining parts are the static features. Based on this assumption, we decompose the dynamic components between each frame feature and reference frame features along the temporal axis. The dynamic component, also termed dynamic features, as difference features between two frame features, is able to represent the dynamic information, as shown in the figure B. At last, we acquire decoupled features driven by dynamic components and corresponding frame features. Specifically, we present an overview of our method. Given an input video and corresponding multiview sequences, our DS4D decouples features of the frame at time $t based on the reference frame in DSFD module. Next, we acquire point features by retrieving each decoupled feature for Gaussian points via view projection, and we obtain fused Gaussian features by adaptively selecting similar dynamic information from point feature space in TSSF module. Finally, through deformation MLP, our method generates 4D content. Our main insight concentrates on the decoupling. Specifically, we observe that regions with larger semantic magnitudes across time tend to exhibit higher semantic consistency, while dynamic regions often yield smaller projection values due to variations in object pose and position. Thus, orthogonal projection represents the semantic overlapping part of the two frames. In other words, regions in the two frames with no texture and shape transformations are identified as the static part. In our paper, to evaluate the performance on single-view video to 4D, we evaluate each methods on the dataset provided by consistent 4D. Besides, we introduce a subset of Objavis. The objects in Objavis have more complexity motion than consistent 4D dataset. Following consistent 4D and stag 4D, we measure the 4D generation quality of our methods using CLIP, LPIPS, FVD, and FIDVID. The quantitative results are shown in table. Our methods DS4DGA and DS4DDA consistently outperform other methods in all metrics. In this video, we present some 360 degrees generation results by our methods, previous work stag 4D and L4GM. Stag 4D and L4GM do not differentiate between dynamic and static information, leading them to easily overlook information in dynamic regions when faced with large proportions of static. In contrast, our methods address the challenges arising from varying proportions of dynamic and static regions in frames, resulting in the achievement of high-quality 4D generation. Reconstruct a dynamic scene from input real-world videos is an essential task. In our paper, we also conduct experiments on real-world videos to demonstrate our proposed can handle complex scene. For more details, please read the paper. Thank you.